Definitely, and I think the fact that you're able to act almost as consultants or advisories to businesses about how to protect their employees, or you can help the police look at how they deal with instances when they get reported. I think it's one of those issues that previously people didn't know how to deal with and how to talk about. So you either had a lot of concentrated support or you didn't get any at all. Is that
yeah, fair? Absolutely. These are uncomfortable issues that people don't like to talk about, and they don't like to talk about them because they are uncomfortable and they don't know how to handle them. They don't know what to do. So it's better if I ignore it and it might go away, or actually if I ignore it, it might not come up. So what I want to do is to take that forward and be more proactive and saying, look, there's nothing to be scared of. It's actually much more effective if you bring these things to the front, bring them above the table and deal with them. And it's all about how you deal with them, how you recognise them, what processes you put in place, and people will be more comfortable, a lot safer if we do that, rather than trying to ignore and push under the table. So, from my business background, having spent 30 plus years in financial services and various management roles, I've identified that there is a lot that we can do for businesses around the issue of safeguarding on domestic abuse and stalking, because it happens. And I've said to people, I've done thousands of return to works, but not once has someone said to me I was away from work or I was late because I was being abused or I was being stalked. But it happens. 1 in 4 women get abused in their lifetime, 1 in 6 men, and 1 in 6 women get stalked in their life. So it's there, it's all there, but it's just below the table. So we need to bring it out, teach companies what to do about it, how to identify it, teach line managers, because it falls on their shoulders, what to do about it, where to direct people, and say to them, you don't have to become experts in this. All you need to do is to identify it, deal with it as a rational human being, and then try and guide those individuals into the right areas to seek the right professional help. And that's what we're trying to do.
Exactly, spot the signs and be able to signpost.
Absolutely right.
Bring in the professionals that can help.
Yeah.
But I think, I've been in line management for a number of years now, not quite as long as you.
What are you trying to say?
Maybe half. But I got into people management at quite an early age. At the age of 19, 20, I was managing teams within retail, and there was nothing in my training program that taught me how to deal with anything other than a stomach bug, a cold,
Absolutely.
And unless you're fortunate to have life experience, you don't know what to look for. And it's not until we've spoken previously and I've understood some of the work you're doing with the consultancy for business that I realised there have been times maybe I've let down people in my team because I didn't know how to look after them or spot the signs. And I think it's so important as employers, as line managers, we've got that responsibility just to be there and to spot the signs, because ultimately that workplace could be their only safe haven in some circumstances.
Often it is their safe haven where they want to be, and what we do with people who underperform as a result of this, because their minds aren't on the job or they're late, is we take them down performance management routes and then we get rid of them. And we get rid of them not knowing what actually the true underlying causes are, and we're then taking away their safe haven. So it's better to bring these issues to the forefront and deal with them. As a line manager, as a HR person, I love dealing with people, but you've got to deal with people across the whole spectrum, not just a few difficult issues such as maybe bereavement or absenteeism. Actually, you've got to do the whole lot. You can't ignore parts of it because it's very uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, but if you know how to handle it and deal with it, those people who are on the other end of it will be so grateful and so thankful.
Yeah.
And you never know, you may save their life by what you do, and how much more powerful can a business be than that, saving someone's life, and that's what I'm trying to get across. We won't uncover anything which is not already there. All we'll do is actually bring it to the surface and get you to deal with it more effectively.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there can be people watching this video when it goes out, they'll be thinking, do you know what? We could really do with some support with engaging with our employees and upskilling our line managers to be able to spot these signs or be able to support colleagues when they're going through these situations. How can these businesses reach out to the Hollie Gazzard Trust or to yourself and engage with you to deliver some of this work?
Very, very easily. Just get in contact with me, Nick at holliegazzard.org. They can come to me, and then I can sit down with them and say, right, this is what I can offer, and there are various things that we can do. Let's work together. Let's help safeguard and protect the well-being of your staff more effectively. That has to be a good thing, doesn't it, to any business?
Exactly. And I know, we've talked about it previously, that you can tailor the work you do to the scale of the business, so it can be scaled up, scaled down to suit whatever that business may be and what issues they may have.
Yeah, we can tailor it to the business, in terms of size, but in terms of operations as well, because some people have staff who purely stay inside the company, others that go out and see other people, and there are dangers involved in that which they're probably not recognising at the moment. It's just making them aware of what can happen and how they can deal with it, and there are lots of different situations that we can talk about and information we can deliver.
Fantastic. And I know you've got a lot of support out in well, not just in Gloucester and the county, but nationwide. The message is reaching far and wide, isn't it now?
Yes, it is, and I've always originally when I started it was going to be a very small thing, but it's grown in mushroom. But that tells me that there's a need out there, and as I mentioned previously, I do a lot of work with various forces around the country. Stalking one, we're up with West Midlands talking to them about. They're the second biggest force in the country, and they're using us as a bit of a consultancy to talk about these issues. That tells me that what we're doing is right, what we're doing is good for communities, and it's good for everyone. So we'll continue to work with police forces around the country. I genuinely believe that those forces have the right attitudes and they want to get things right, but sometimes things hold them back, whether that's lack of personnel, lack of information, or lack of resource. So if we can work with them to get a better all-round solution for everybody, then great. And we're working with colleges. I'm down speaking at a college fairly shortly, Paul and Bournemouth College, to their students about what happened to Hollie, how they can safeguard, promoting Hollie Guard. Probation service, I'm doing some work down in Hampshire with them. I've done probation services in Reading, all across the spectrum really of the criminal justice system. I do work with, so it's getting those messages out there, getting people to understand, and using Hollie as a vehicle to do that. And I think once you can use an actual example and people can get that emotional attachment with it, I think it's much, much